once more again. Also, what I need for you to do, sit back, relax, put on your headgear. Oh, my worthless 2 cents is about to put something in your ear. Oh, and here we go. Oh, you hear me? It's your boy, the Louisiana country boy, coming at you live from the 1, 2, 3, from the 4. Oh, look at here. The boy is up here live tonight at the Acres Home Chamber of Commerce. I am here live with the man, the myth, the legend, the president of the Acres Home Chamber of Commerce and Business Development, Inc. He did some homework, He did some homework. Yeah, he did. Look here. It is an honor. It is a privilege to be here once more again. To be sitting here with Mr. Muhammad. And look, y'all got to be excited because y'all know I ain't never ever really had a guest that sits next to me. I am live and in person with somebody. He rich too. You know? He a real fella too. And we are sitting up here together. So tonight, look here, it is an honor. Once more again, it is an honor, it is a privilege to be here. I'm honored to be right here at the chamber, right here in the fold. So what I'm going to do tonight, whenever I have a guest, y'all know I shuts my big old country mouth up and I'm gonna let him have his way. But tonight, Mr. Muhammad is going to tell us about Mr. Muhammad. Mr. Muhammad is going to tell us about the chamber. Mr. Muhammad is going to tell us about the future, the vision, the purpose. Mr. Muhammad is going to tell us whatever he chooses because he's sitting at the table. So whatever he want to tell us about. If he want to tell us about some of that milk. He can do that. You know, it don't matter. I'm going to just say this. It does not matter whether we're virtual or we're in person. I'm still a person. I'm still the same old person. I don't get into the whole, this, that, and the other. What I want you to do is, one, I want you to feel comfortable enough. I want to know that the God of me said to you, man, shoot, let me kick back and we're going to have a talk. Because that's what we're going to do. We're just going to have a conversation. We're going to have a talk. And he's going to share in his own way how he does. I can't tell y'all about Mr. Muhammad because I ain't never lived his life, but he can tell you by himself. And that's what he's here to do. So, Mr. I got to do this. So, what I need for y'all to do is join the old country boy in doing one thing, please. What is that? Sit back, relax, put on your headgear. Oh, Warren F. Muhammad! Put something in their ear. Welcome, sir.
Man, you character. Thank you, Louisiana country boy.
Yes, sir.
From the Louisiana country boy to the Acres Home country boy.
There you go. There it is.
It's a pleasure and honor to be here with you, man.
Hey, it is. I'm glad that you're here. It is, to sit next to you, to know all the things that I've heard, that we've had conversations about, to actually have you here and join this old country boy. 2 country boys about to have. Look, y'all, we finna sit on the porch. If we had a swing right now, we'd be sitting on the porch, kicking our feet and swinging. But no, like I said, I'm gonna let you have your way. Whatever it is that you feel compelled to share, whatever it is you can feel compelled to talk about, your journey, your story, your way, and about you, about the chamber, whatever it is. This is. If y'all ain't never been here, I'm gonna just say this. This here nice place. I was in the bathroom. I went to go to the old restroom to change clothes. Well, that thing smelled good. But look, what's that place? Is it Buc-ee's? Put them to shame.
All right. My turn? It's on me?
It's on you.
Well, anyway, thanks again.
Yes, sir.
I'm Warren Fitzgerald Muhammad. Born and raised in Acres Home, the 4-4. We used to call it the Acre Shaker.
Acre Shaker. Acre Shaker. Acre Shaker.
And I've been here my whole life. My whole life. And in this community, I'm probably better known by the name Chappie.
Okay.
So you come out here and you start asking for Warren, somebody might know who that is and they might not. But if you ask for Chappie, they know who you're talking about.
Now we know.
I am I'm a practicing attorney,
Okay.
Owner of the law firm of Warren F. Muhammad, Inc. And I've been practicing for quite a while.
Okay.
45 years now.
Oh, wow. Wow.
And more. Yeah. And my primary area is in personal injury, medical malpractice, wrongful death. Put it like this. If you are injured, hurt, hopefully not killed, but in those cases, I represent you or the family to get just compensation.
Okay.
It's based on someone else's negligence. And I've also had a long career of defending citizens accused of crime. I don't like to call it criminals, but it's citizens accused of crime. So that's criminal law.
Right.
And I've done a number of other things in my career, but that's basically what I settled into in this stage of my life.
Wow. 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 Man, that's a long time.
Yeah.
You know, some older folks say, boy, that's a lot of water underneath the bridge.
Yeah, it is.
Man, and I'm sure that in your 40 plus years, you've seen a lot. You've on both ends of the spectrum.
Yeah, I have. And I've had a pretty varied career. Early in my career, I was an NFL sports agent.
Okay.
Yeah, and I did a few contracts with the NFL. And I was an entertainment attorney for quite a while, doing record deals and music deals for artists and production companies, negotiated with many of the top record companies in the business.
Okay.
And was, I guess you would say, I was behind the scene, but sort of in the forefront of independent music in Houston in terms of as hip hop and rap evolved in the city. I was very involved in helping to launch the career of a lot of artists that became well known by setting up their record labels or signing them to production companies or setting up the production company that signed them. People like Bun B and Pimp C with their first deal, Lil Kiki, DJ Screw when he was first helped him with his first deal to get him out.
Wow.
I was general counsel for Rap-A-Lot for about 6 years. This entertainment litigation, intellectual property litigation, litigated the breakup of Destiny's Child, the two artists that were expelled, LaToya Luckett and Latavia Robeson. I represented them in a lawsuit against Music World Entertainment and Beyonce and Sony, so I had the litigation experience. So, I kind of been around the block.
Boy, look here. There's some things you be learning when you sit in the poets.
Yeah. I was a judge for a while.
No.
Municipal court judge, associate judge. And as I said, I've always handled negligence cases.
Right.
And that's primarily my practice now. Medical malpractice, car wrecks, negligence cases.
Wow.
Wrongful death cases, product liability. We've done it all.
Wow. Well, I don't really ask no questions, but I'm gonna just be nosy. So, what was it that led you into law? Like, how some people did you come up in the fofo saying, you know what, I'm gonna be a lawyer?
In a sense, I did.
Really?
Yeah. There are two instances that I can think of that had an impact or an effect on me choosing law.
Uh-huh.
One was, I guess I was around 9 years old, and my older cousin, my father's first cousin, a younger first cousin of my father, name was Tim. And my sister and I loved Tim to death. Tim with babysitters. My parents would need to go somewhere or go out or, you know,
Right.
get some time for themselves. Tim would always take good care of us. Tim was killed in an altercation with a police officer.
Mm.
And I can remember reading the newspaper, and the news report said that the officer shot Tim while Tim was kicking and beating him.
Mm.
I had a chance to read Tim's autopsy, and the autopsy report said Tim died from a gunshot wound to the left back.
Oh, wow.
Something in me said, somebody's lying. That was my first experience with injustice.
Right.
Even though I didn't know to call it that.
Right. Right.
I just knew something wasn't right, and my big cousin was gone. And the facts in the story didn't mesh. And then later in high school, I went to MC Williams. It was a junior senior high back then, it's right across the street. And I can remember being in the auditorium, sitting in the back of the auditorium with my buddies, cutting up, talking, not paying attention. And they had this thing where professionals would come and visit, career day.
Right.
And I remember this person saying that they were a lawyer. I don't remember who it was. I didn't get a name. I just heard this term, lawyer.
Mm.
And it stuck. And
Right.
I got curious. Lord, it just stuck with me that there was such a thing as a lawyer, and there was a Black person that was a lawyer. So at the age of 17, I'd become radicalized, read autobiography of Malcolm X and all of that, you know, and this was around 1970, so it was, the Vietnam War was going on,
Right.
and all of that. And I remember actually doing an analysis at the age of 17. What would I do with my life? And I knew I wanted to work for myself. I wanted to be self-employed because my entire family were all entrepreneurs in Acres Home.
Okay.
So I wanted to work for myself. There was something about this issue of justice that was still lingering.
Right.
And I wanted to help our people some way. And I just put it all together. That's it. A lawyer.
Wow.
And that was the beginning, and here I am now.
Wow. Wow. You know, and I often say that vision and purpose, there's something that's in us. And a lot of people spend their whole life not knowing what their purpose is. And I commend you at an early age, knowing that thing that burnt inside of you, you didn't allow this world or situations or whatever it may be to put the flame out.
Right.
That speaks so highly. Because I know a lot of folks, boy, they let water or whatever, that flame was gone.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. And there's always challenges and obstacles that can pop up to take you off your course.
Yes.
It could be relationships, it could be work. You know, I remember working at the post office during my last year and a half of law school, because due to financial considerations, I needed to work.
Right.
I couldn't finish that last year full time. So I got a job at the post office and was making some good money. That post office money was some good money. Country boy.
And just like that, we back, y'all. See, that's what happened when you're in the 4-4. Don't be playing around with nobody or nothing, okay? See, we back. Look, and Warren was talking about the post office. The post office money.
Post office money. But before I get back to that, I want to give a shout out because you mentioned the bathroom and how good it smells. Yeah. And I want to give a shout out and everybody give a clap or whatever to Mr. Myers.
Mr. Myers.
Mr. Myers takes care of the building. He keeps it spick and span and smelling good.
Mr. Myers, I don't know. See, you work over here with Warren them. I'm just a visitor, man. You did that thing, okay? You done put buckets to shame. I'm telling you, Mr. Myers, I'm just telling you right now. It was good. Man. I was about to get up there and go in there and lay down. That's
But yeah, back to the things that can get in your way. One of the major, I guess, trials or things that could have gotten in the way was my last year of college. I had taken a job at the post office, and I was comfortable. I was working the night shift in parcel post. And every night they called 3.5 hours overtime. And it was like they took me to open my mouth and said, I'm just going to keep feeding you and pour this money down your throat. So that was a saying at the post office, but anybody worked at the post office could buy 2 of anything.
Wow.
The money was good.
Wow.
And I worked there for 13 months, but that last month, I bought me a brand new car, a Cougar. Mercury Cougar. Okay. Gold. Gold interior. Oh man,
you was
about it. And I just bought the new car, and I got my graduation letter saying I was qualified to graduate, and I already applied to different law schools. I got a letter saying I had been accepted to law school. I quit my job the same day.
Wow.
Because I didn't want to get addicted to the money.
Right. That's what I was going, was how difficult was that decision between you see what you got.
Right.
But here's what's the possibilities.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah, I quit my job. As soon as I got that letter, I went to the supervisor's office and told him I quit.
Wow.
And I had a car note. Brand. I didn't have another job, but I knew I had to get out of that comfort zone.
Yes.
Of making that money in order to pursue my dream.
Yeah. Wow. You said so much that's so loaded. There's no growth in the comfort zone.
Right.
There ain't nothing in the comfort zone but comfort.
Right.
And it ain't really comfortable.
Yeah.
And to be able to make that choice and go like, you know what? My purpose is so much greater than this, because you didn't allow that. Because you could have been like, man, I'm making this money. You know what? Man, look here. Law school, man. I'll catch that later on.
Yeah. And that's the trap. Because I knew people who wanted to go to pharmacy and different things, but they got in that comfort zone making that post office money. And it's not to knock it.
Right.
Because one person actually retired from the post office, lived a good life, but she never fulfilled that dream that she wanted, So I just made the decision, and I'll be honest, it was a good number of years after law school and starting in the law practice until I got up to where that post office money was.
but you knew it was possible.
Yeah.
And that's it's walking in that, walking in that vision. Walking in that vision. A vision is not what our eyes see. Because your sight is not your vision.
Right.
And a lot of people get that. Well, I see it, but that don't make it your vision. Your vision is way over here. It's deep inside you, but it's way over there. And for you to fulfill your vision, to walk in your purpose, despite everything, speaks volumes.
Thank you. So, I did just that. And the next thing was in my last year of law school, I was clerking for some lawyers that were in private practice.
Mm-hmm.
And it was already fixed in my mind. Like I said, going back to when I was 17, I wanted to work for myself.
Right.
And the school administrators, would tell us on this particular day, all of the law firms are coming to visit the school. This is where you can go and meet representatives from the law firms and, the institutions, and
right.
you can apply for jobs. And I didn't go. And they looked at me like, what are you doing? I made good grades. I was one of the top students in the class. And I said, I got to go to work at this. I got to go clerking for some lawyers. I said, these people they pay good salary. And I wasn't even interested.
Mm.
So I never went.
Wow.
And I got my degree, and I went straight into private practice.
Wow.
There was a group of lawyers, and there was no office space, but there was a storage room in the back, and they had chairs and old desks and file cabinets and everything. So I asked one of the lawyers, I said, listen, how about I take this storage room?
Wow.
And they said, are you serious? I'm like, yeah, I'm serious. So they said, have at it, So we cleaned the storage room out, and there was old desk in it and some old beat up chairs. I took those home, and my father was a carpenter. He built our home that my mother still lives in. He built a cafe that they operated for decades.
Wow.
He was a genius with his hand. I took it all home, and we sanded down that old beat up desk and stained it and varnished it, and nailed the chairs back together. And that was my first office, was in the little storage room.
Wow.
With some hand-me-down furniture. And I was as proud as I could be. And
wow.
That's where I launched my legal career.
Wow. Wow. Humble beginnings.
Yeah, very.
Humble beginnings. And that's, and I'll say that some people forget, and because you're here right now in the 4-4, here at home. Some people forget what home is, because once they get out, they never come back.
Mm-hmm.
They never look back. They never think about the fact that just because I got out, there's still somebody back there.
Right.
And for you to plant your roots back where your roots were.
Yeah.
Man, that's what it's about.
Well, it's really not an accident. To me, it all makes sense for me to have stayed here and come here, because I grew up in a time when Acres Home was something very noteworthy. It started off as a community, just going back into the history. Shortly after World War I, some land developers purchased large tracts and began selling land to blacks who otherwise could not own land, because the city of Houston did not sell land to blacks.
Okay.
Everybody who lived in the city limits had to rent.
Mm.
And most of my family most of us springs from Fourth Ward. Most people who've been in Houston from the beginning, they started out in Fourth Ward.
Okay.
That's where Jack Yates settled
Right.
after slavery, Fourth Ward. But they had no ownership, so people began to flock out here where they could actually buy land. And it was in parcels of acre, hence the name Acres Home.
Gotcha.
And my family moved out. My father was reared in Baton Rouge,
Okay.
Louisiana, and he moved to Texas. And my grandmother was from Iowa, Louisiana, and they moved to Texas. So I got them Louisiana.
You got the Louisiana roots.
Got the Louisiana roots.
That's it. There you go.
So, but I come from a family of really noteworthy people in this community. My grandfather, Chappie O'Shea, my mother's father, owned the first full-service grocery store in Acres Home on West Montgomery.
Really?
And when I say full service, it was like a miniature HEB. You could buy canned goods, fresh vegetables, rice and grains. He had hardware, the number 2 tubs hanging from the ceiling.
Wow.
He had a full meat, I don't know what you call it, dispensary of meat.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like in the country.
yeah.
Right.
And he would go to the butcher shop and buy like a half a cow. And somewhere, I think he was in the Navy, he learned how to butcher meat. So he would actually take that big old piece of cow,
Right.
and cut it up in the steaks and roasts,
Wow.
and all that, and sell it in the meat box.
Wow.
So he had everything.
Wow.
Right here on West Montgomery. And my aunts owned cafe. My grandmother had a restaurant. They call them soul food places now, but back then it was breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And so I just saw entrepreneurship everywhere. And then my grandfather on my father's side, and I didn't find this out until real late in life. I thought he was a preacher, but he was not a preacher. He would found churches and then hire a preacher.
What?
Yes. So he set up the church in Acres Home. He set up other churches in Houston. He had a big church in Kendleton, Texas, which is an all-black community even to this day.
Wow.
And he would found these churches, and he was known to be a clairvoyant and a healer. So while the preacher would be out preaching, people would come and go to see him to tell them where they lost valuable items and to lay hands on their children or to heal some ailment that they had. He had a salve that he made and a tonic. And I've heard stories, actual testimonies from people telling me, they call him Dr. Fitzgerald. So I went to see Dr. Fitzgerald, and I'd lost my wedding ring, and I couldn't let my spouse know I'd lost it. And he went and told me to go back home and look behind, go in the back bedroom and look behind the door.
Wow.
Stuff like that. People would bring their children to him. And just a story about it, I'm told my mother, my sister, everybody tells me when I was little I had a stuttering problem. And my grandfather, Dr. Fitzgerald, told my sister what to do. And then told her, do it, and you won't even remember that you did it. And she did it, and I never stuttered again.
Wow.
And she went to her grave not being able to tell me what it was.
What it was that she did. Wow.
All right.
Wow.
But kind of segued, but I just came from an environment that was very proud to be in Acres Home, that was integral parts of the community and had responsibilities in the community.
Right.
In Acres Home being the self-reliant type of community that it was, well, we didn't have to leave Acres Home to get anything. We had our own cab stations, we had our own grocery stores, cleaners, washateria, pharmacy, 2 doctors on West Montgomery.
Wow.
A baseball team that played against the Negro League teams.
Really?
Yes. In the ballpark right on West Montgomery. You name it, brother, we had it.
Wow. Wow.
So for me to think about doing something for myself, it was just natural to me. It wasn't a strain for me to think about it. It was like, this is what we do.
Wow. That is amazing. And I'm gonna segue into that, and not knowing because I ain't from the Fofo. I'm just a visitor in the Fofo.
Oh, let me add before you go there. We even had our own bus company.
Really?
1959, a group of Black businessmen from Acres Home applied for a state bus charter and received the first bus charter, Black-owned bus charter in the South, right here in Acres Home, the Acres Home Transit Company.
Really?
Okay, back to what you.
Well, that was that, and that segues into it. Is asking the question, and I don't ask questions. I'm just being nosy. Knowing the history, knowing the foundation, knowing all of this that's a part of this wonderful community that was. How do you get it back, and where did it get lost?
Good question. That's something that we are working to try to find the answer and the solution to getting it back. I don't know that we'll ever get it back like it was. times have changed. And before I go any further, because I mentioned my grandfather, Chappie O'Shan, my grandfather, Dr. Fitzgerald. I didn't mention my mom and my daddy.
Ooh.
Gloria Fitzgerald. She's probably watching right now. She's 2 weeks ago, she turned 95.
Oh, wow. Wow. Well, happy belated birthday.
And my father, Warren, I'm a junior.
Okay.
Warren Fitzgerald Sr., Jack. Everybody call him Jack. He's passed, but I wanted to at least,
got to
give props in there.
Hey, it's a must.
Yeah.
It is a must.
But what happened, I think times changed. Whereas Acres Home developed out of necessity because of segregation and Jim Crow. Black people had to do for themselves because you couldn't just go down the street and go to Sears and go downtown and go to Foley's. And,
right.
I remember my mother taking me to a pharmacy up in the Heights on Yale. And she went in and shopped, but I wanted to sit at the counter, country boy, and get an ice cream. They had those,
right.
They used to have it like that in the grocery store. They had the ice cream bar,
Yep.
And I remember this white man told me to get up and go stand back. And I was, something not right here. I went on and started playing, found my mom. But it stuck with me.
Right.
And I realized as I began to learn about segregation, and I was like, that white man didn't want me sitting at his counter. I remember that. So we had to look out for each other.
Right.
And then with the opening up of society with integration, of course, there were bigger stores with cheaper prices. And there was also a desire by people to go out and venture out and, try life with them other people.
Right.
And all of that contribute to putting pressure on the local businesses in the community to keep pace. And then this community was annexed starting in 67 and completed around 72. So now it became part of the city. So that killed the bus company, killed the cab company.
Right.
The trash man.
Yeah, the trash man. We didn't have city waste, but we had a black man with a big truck, and he would do hauling during the day and pick up trash and take it to the dump. And he'd pick up everybody's trash. And then in the evenings, all of us little shorties would get on the back of the trash truck and sweep it out. We'd all pile up on it, and he'd take us down to the park, and we had Little League Baseball.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Right on the back of the trash truck.
Wow.
And he took me, and we had some good baseball teams, too. Acres Home was really known for his baseball players.
Wow.
But that was the kind of community. I don't see a return to that, because as we speak, you can call it gentrification or whatever we call it. But you've seen it if you're driving around. There's a lot of development. And
yes.
2 and 3 stories. Homes. People from all walks of life starting to move in. So I couldn't very well tell someone who paid that $350,000 for a home that you got to go because we want to be all black again.
Right.
I think that has passed us. But I think we have an opportunity to be a viable community again if we focus on business and economic development in this community. Because where there's a population growth, population increase, there's needs for goods and services.
Yes.
And that's where we can position ourselves. Like they say, you can't stop progress, but you can get in the way of it. So
this is true.
Progress got to come right my way.
Come right on down this street, and I'm standing right here.
So that's what we're trying to do at the Acres Home Chamber for Business and Economic Development, is promote business and economic development right here where we're situated.
And with the history, the wonderful history that you've told me about, does that reach the people? Even for me, it don't matter where you come from. When you hear about where you're moving to, we're moving to Acres Home. Do you know the history of Acres Home? That even if I came from Georgia, I'm like, man, I'm proud to be in the 4-4. Because let me tell you about the history. what is it that can share that history? You're sharing it right now. You're sharing some stuff with me, some that people may not have known.
Mhm.
How does the community, how does not just Warren, because that's a load to say just Warren's going to share it. How does the community, how does the chamber, how does all the other people say, let me tell you about Acres Home?
Mhm.
Where do you start to get that out at?
It's an assignment. It's a task, and I want to also give a shout out to Miss Sheba Roy. She's come on and came in to work with me at the chamber and has just done a yeoman's job in helping to develop programs and increase our platform and really increase our visibility in our outreach. Due to her efforts, Channel 2 came out and spent the day here at the chamber in highlighting and promoting Acres Home. Yeah. And we did an interview. I was interviewed. Different people in the community was interviewed, and so it was that kind of outreach, to let people know what we're doing, what our history is. Because if we don't tell our story, it'll be written out of history.
Yes.
So we have to tell our story. So I always encourage writers and artists and poets and singers and rappers. And we got to tell our story and really stop getting away from some of this foolishness and start to recite our history.
Right.
Because we come from, it's a misconception. A lot of people think in Africa that we didn't read and write, but that's a misconception. We were extremely literate, especially in the Islamic communities.
Right.
Because the main thing in Islam was to read the Quran and write it. And Islam, and to those that know, there are some naysayers, but that is a traditional religion in Africa. Its roots are in Africa.
Okay.
And a lot of people think it's some Arab religion that conquered. No. It spread through business and economic development.
Mm.
And anytime it's over 1,000 years in your culture, man, that's yours.
Right. Facts.
That's your tradition, right? But the other parts were oral traditions as well.
Right.
So we try to encourage the creative community to use that oral tradition and that literate tradition to tell our stories. I might add, I'm in the last stages of editing on a documentary that I have produced, written and produced on my grandfather, Chappie O'Shea.
Okay.
And the story of Acres Home.
Mm.
Actually, that's the title of it, The Story of Chappie O'Shea and the Making of Acres Home.
Wow.
Because, as I said, he opened his grocery store. He did a lot of other things. So I'm kind of telling his story. I'm preserving the legacy of our family and also telling like a history of the community all wrapped up in one. So hopefully we're about through editing it, and hopefully we'll be making it available to see pretty soon. But it's all part of legacy preservation.
Yes, and that is so, when you talked about the passing down and being able to share it, for me, coming from the country, coming from the woods, coming from the sticks, those things seem to lose as it goes down the chain.
Mm-hmm.
The things that grandma and great grandma used to talk about, now sometimes somehow our children and our grandchildren have no idea of the vast of the way you should be able to stick out your chest.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm from the country.
Mm-hmm.
I'm from the fofo. You should be able to, because what's been poured in. Somehow those porch talks.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Somehow those porch talks have gone the way of technology now.
Mm-hmm.
Somehow those porch talks where grandma would sit with you and tell you about what I went through, baby.
Mm-hmm.
These are the things to be proud of. That's that thing when you talk about, because you talk about it but you also express it. Because you talk about, let me tell you, you was talking about it, and every once in a while you did this right here. Every once in a while. But that's that thing that somehow has been shaved away. And I can't blame it on anybody but us, because we've shaved it away. Because a lot of us, and here this country, Tom, a lot of us consider that stuff foolishness.
Mm-hmm.
We are somewhat ashamed of that thing because I'm much better now. For me, I tell you this: the only reason you're better now is because they was worse then.
Right. Well, let me tell you, when I said the Louisiana country boy and the Acres Home country boy,
Yes, sir.
Acres Home was country city country, and you know, the first house that I lived in didn't have running water.
Mm.
We had a pot where we had to do number one or number two and go take it outside.
Was it white?
Yep.
Uh-huh.
It sure was. And we go in the backyard and had a well where, you know, you'd have to pump that water.
Yeah.
That was some good sweet water though, man. You know? But you know, so I grew up climbing trees and jumping dishes and crawfishing and
Yes,
hunting small game, you know, and all of that. So right now to this day, on any given day in Acres Home, you can go outside or look out your window and there's a neighborhood trail ride going down the street right here in Acres Home, because we still have our horses. And that's one of the things we want to preserve as part of our legacy. I don't care how many high rises they build. We want to keep our horses in Acres Home. That's part of our legacy.
Right.
But you know, it's a work that has to be done, and as we have worked with that effort to continue to tell the story of Acres Home, many people are fascinated about it because they had no idea.
Right.
You know, and I must say it speaks to all the other historically Black communities in Acres Home. You know, Fifth Ward, and
yes,
Sunnyside. We used to call Sunnyside was Acres Home South.
Mm.
You know,
what?
It almost looked just like Acres Home. You know, but and we used to have some good old fights. When we'd go to Sunnyside to play football, man, we'd have to put our helmets on close to the end of the game.
Yeah,
because it was going to rock. When they came to Acres Home.
Oh man!
But you know, it's a work that I love doing.
Right.
Here at the chamber, in trying to keep the legacy alive, and not only keep the legacy alive, but try to advance this community from the standpoint of business and economic development. Ms. Roy has done a great job of reaching out to some of the developers that are building here.
Mm-hmm.
We even had a meeting with one earlier today, and they've expressed interest in becoming a partner with the chamber, even though they're building up.
Right.
And the gentleman said something that really touched me. He said part of what he was really proud about was not only the work he's doing in building homes and advancing his business, but he said, Mr. Muhammad, I was able to make some people instant millionaires by the property they sold me. I paid them 1.1 million,
wow,
1.5 million. And that's a life changer, man. You know?
Right.
So, you know, that gentleman and some others have indicated and actually started to talk and dialogue with us on how the development community can be a part of the chamber and hopefully begin to attract commercial development and business development as well.
And that is so important. What is it? And this was something that I thought about earlier. Again, what is it that the community means to the chamber? Two parts. And what is it that the chamber means to the community?
What does the community mean to the chamber? The community is really the base that we draw from. And I must say it's not an easy sell. You know, a lot of the community, you know, have just accustomed to living life the way they've been living.
Right.
And there's not a lot of discussion about business and economic development. You know, it's not talked about in the schools.
Right.
You know, I don't know that it's even talked about in some of the universities, especially in terms of coming back into our historically Black communities to enhance business and economic development. Excuse me. I'm not sure to the extent that it's talked about in the church. So where is this conversation being held? I haven't heard the politicians really advance it.
Right.
You know, so someone has to generate the conversation.
True.
You know, so that's what the community is for us. We're constantly trying to tell people this chamber is not Mr. Muhammad's chamber. It's your chamber. It's a membership organization. So we thrive and grow through the memberships.
Right.
You know, so we begin to get some positive response. We recently had a lifelong member of the community who finished high school with me a couple years ahead of me. She came in and gave a very good talk on mental health.
Okay.
You know, so we started to get people from the community that see we hear and what we're trying to do. And I have to also laud Mr. Roy Melanson, who was able to erect the structure that we had. And he owns the adjacent property, the African American News and Issue. This was really his vision to form the Acres Home Chamber for Business and Economic Development. And he launched it. And I've known it practically my whole life. So I watched it.
Right.
I participated on the board, you know, off and on with him. But he was a man with a vision, you know, that makes it possible for us to be in this building right now. You know, and you know, he'll tell you about his struggles. It's always a struggle, man. Because I mean, there are forces that don't want to see us develop in that manner. So that, you know, we can't leave it to some mystery or some spook.
Right.
You know, and you know, the devil did it. You know, no, there's some people walking around, you know, wearing shoes and jackets and ties, you know, that fill that devil role. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So we have our enemies.
Right.
We have those who don't want to see us succeed. You know, but we got to fight the fight.
And that is so true. Is and what you said about Mr. Melanson. What came to my mind when you were saying that was that thing that says the vision. Write it down and make it plain. So many of us, and him having the vision and writing it and placing it there, and you taking it and seeing the vision. That's what it's about. To take it to the next level, and what you leave behind, what you put down, somebody should be able to say, let me pick up from there and take it to the next level. You can't run the whole race. Right. What you have to do is run your portion of the race.
It's a relay.
Pass that. That's it. Pass that thing off. Pass that thing off. There's a couple of things that I want to touch on. One is the upcoming event that you're having. Two, again, is about getting more people or you telling more people about here to come here to see it. Old Country Boy don't sell nothing, okay? If y'all don't like it, then y'all come here and see for your own self. That's all. Y'all come see the bathroom for yourself. That's what I say. Yeah, you ain't gotta believe I think I said it. He said it clean. Come see it for yourself. But did it clean? Woo. But all of it. And make the choice for yourself. But it is here. But I want you to be able to tell, you know, about what you have going on, about what's coming up, about give us a glimpse into your vision for the next 3 years.
Okay, well, it starts with some of our activities that are ongoing right now. One is we have a farmer's market. And that is something that I am really happy about. And I got to credit Ms. Roy. You know, I kind of just, someone came to me and said, there was a farmer's market that was about to go under.
Okay.
And they came to me and said, Mr. Muhammad, can you do the farmer's market? Because we don't have a place, you know, nothing is working out. And I said, sure. And I took the baby and tossed it to Ms. Roy.
There you go.
And our farmers market is the third Saturday of every month,
Okay.
right here at the chamber. And we've just, after almost a year of just doing it ourselves and building it from the ground up, we've recently been able to secure some funding and assistance through MD Anderson. That's going to collaborate with us to expand the farmers market. And the reason I'm so proud and happy about the farmers market is the farm. Minister Louis Farrakhan gave a lecture where he said the farm is the basis of civilization. Mm. Everything started with the farm. You know, people at one point in time either hunted or they just walked around and gathered, you know, seeds and nuts, right, whatever they could find, which made them nomads. Nobody could ever settle down. It was when they began to learn how to plant and cultivate the soil and domesticate the animal, you know, the horse and the cow, primarily the cow. Right. Then they began to settle down and build communities, which grew into towns and cities and empires and, right, and all of that. So it starts with the farm. And Acres Home is a food desert. Mm. Whereas once there were fresh groceries and fresh meats and all of the things we talked about, it's difficult to find that now. Now you can't even find some good fresh milk, some cow milk. Wow. I'm gonna talk about that for a week. We talk about that cow milk. But it's a food desert. So our real initiative with the farmers market is to bring fresh produce, vegetables, and fruits to the community, right, that they really can't find in any store in the community. You know, and that's a big one, because what happens, Country Boy, what happens when there's another storm and the power's out, but not for a couple of weeks, but 3 months? Right. And HEB is not open and Kroger's not open. You know, where are you going to get your food? Right. But if you got a connection between growers and producers that can bring stuff off the farm and off the plots into a location, you can still get that good food. That's true. You know, so it's a matter of survival in a sense. And so we're real proud about that. We have a candidates forum coming up September 17th. Okay. The Deltas, in collaboration with some other D9 members, are having a candidates forum. And then October 25th is our big one. That's our 34th annual gala and fundraiser. And this one is going to be off the charts, man. This will be the best one we've ever had in 34 years. Wow. That's how long we've been doing it. But we have Chelsea, I forget Chelsea's name. Edwards.
Also, don't forget about Business Essentials.
Yeah. Chelsea Edwards is going to be the MC. Okay. And she has her own TV show on Fox 26, I believe. Okay. We've got catering by Chef Willie. We've got Winston LeBay is our keynote speaker, and he's the deputy director of the SBA. Okay. Right here in Houston. He's our keynote speaker. He's going to be talking about where's the money and how to go get it. Mm. And we have entertainment provided by DJ McQueen. Okay. Who's a very well-known AJ. Excuse me, DJ. AJ. You're not the DJ.
DJ AJ.
AJ McQueen. Please show up, AJ. We're not looking for the DJ. But anyway, AJ McQueen is going to do some entertainment for us. Okay. And you can go on the website. You can go on the website, acreshomechamber.com. All of the information for the fundraiser is on the website. Please get your tickets. Buy a table, become a partner. If you got a business, take out a sponsorship. It's our biggest fundraiser. This helps to keep the doors open, keep us alive. And it's not just us taking in money, but we also always giving back. A portion of the funds go to the Lone Star College North Workforce Scholarship. Okay. So we actually put money back in the Lone Star for some person to have their tuition paid to go and learn a trade. Okay. Yeah. So other thing we've got coming up is our Business Essentials. It's a series of workshops to teach and educate entrepreneurs or aspiring entrepreneurs on the essentials of starting and running your business so that you can increase your chance of being successful. So that'll run us through this year. And for the next 3 years, we want to make everything grow. We want to increase our corporate sponsorships,
Right.
so that we can hire more staff, so we can expand our workshops, our educational, opportunities. We even have on the drawing boards. We've already started to do some of the legwork and research on our own credit union.
Okay.
So as far as a 3-year plan, that's on the table for us, is to actually develop our own financial institution that we own.
Wow.
It's one thing to ask Bank of America or Chase to come into our community. Probably not.
Right. Right.
But we had the opportunity to have our own financial institution. So we've done most of the research on it, and that's on the table for us.
Man, that is excellent. In so much, that I just take from that is one is being here and knowing this is that personally, let me just say, a lot of folks sometimes get aggravated with churches because they go like, well, I ain't giving, because look at them. Let me tell y'all something. Just like your house, the lights got to stay on.
Mm-hmm.
Just like your house, the water got to stay on. When you're donating to something that's a part of your community, you're donating not because I want to see this, that, and other, but you're doing it because you want to see it grow and improve. Because then you pouring in, it comes out. You pouring in, it comes out.
Mm-hmm.
You pouring in, it comes out. Could the chamber do more? My opinion, of course.
Sure.
Am I going to say if you pour in more, maybe you could get out more? But if I only put like a drop in, why am I expecting a bucket out? I'm
Right.
just saying, that's just me. I'm just sitting here.
Right.
I'm just sitting here running my country mile. When we learn to work together
Mm-hmm.
in this thing, no matter what it is, again, I ain't telling nobody where to go and do nothing. I'm just telling you, come see for yourself. I can't tell you what, come see for yourself. If you work together instead of always pulling apart, if I wanted to pick something apart, if I just want to sit here, Mr. Muhammad, you want to sit here and just pick me apart and think of every negative thing about me, you can, because
Mhm.
that's your opinion, because you want to see it from that side.
Mhm.
But do you want to see it from the healthy side? Because me trying to pick at negative this, that, let me take that little word he said over there and take it over here. Why can't we take those and grow together?
Right.
There's enough divisiveness in this world instead of us feeding into it, trying to be divisive ourselves.
Right.
That's just my opinion. That's just country talk.
Right. And there's something else that I had failed to mention is we have monthly networking meetings. We have an evening mixer coming up September 19th. And it's going to be at a local restaurant. We have before we finish, I want to give you a tour.
Okay.
Show you what we have. But we have a beautiful banquet hall. But we started to reach out and have some of our networking meetings at local establishments so that they can be promoted and people can know where they are and take some of their food and bring them some business, But these networking meetings are very important. We have an evening networking meeting every month, but the third month of the year, we have a luncheon. But I tell you, country boy, there's a gentleman who came to the networking meeting and became a member, and they do mental health. And they met a football coach who came and became a member at the network. And now they are working with the athletic department at this school on mental health for the young athletes. Right through this networking that we do.
Right.
We have a gentleman that comes and has a restaurant, and he was able to get a lead on a development opportunity for his restaurant right here at the chamber networking meeting. So we have there's other testimonials
Right.
where people have come here, participated in workshops, seminars, and they're getting business right out of the network. And one lady even started at the farmer's market. She had never sold anything. And she's in a wheelchair. She moves around in a wheelchair.
Right.
She catches a lift here. But she came and she had these little knitted caps. And she came and really just wanted somebody to get a cap. She was giving them away. She was giving away books and stuff. And just in conversation, she mentioned to Ms. Ross, she said, I make jellies and jams. We told her, bring the jelly and the jam
Right.
to the farmer's market. And now she's one of our best sellers
Wow.
at the farmer's market. Had never sold anything, So that's just some real life testimonials and stories of the benefits of coming and meeting other people and networking and getting to know other people, letting other people know what you do, what kind of services you have,
Right.
and finding out what they do. And that's how you do business.
That's how it works.
Yeah.
That's how it works. What my mama used to say, closed mouth don't get fed.
Don't get fed.
Well, look, as we are winding down, I want you to, I'll have a question for you, but I already got the answer. I want you to, tell them where they can reach, how they can reach out, where they can come visit, where they can come by, what website, all that good stuff about the chamber.
Okay.
So.
Okay, we're located at 6112 Wheatley Street, Houston, Texas, right in the heart of Acre Shaker, the 4-4. And it's on the same footprint with the Acres Home African American News Initiative, Mr. Melanson property. So you'll see some buildings on one side and then a standalone building to the other side, and that's our building. And again, it's owned by the chamber. And when you come and see it, I think you'll be impressed. 6112 Wheatley. We can be found on the internet. Our website is acreshomechamber.com. Our email is info@acreshomechamber.com. That's really the best way to reach us is just shoot us an email. We'll pick it up. We'll retrieve the information. We'll call you back, send you an email, whatever needs to be done. Just start with that email, info@acreshomechamber.com.
Man, amen. Well, thank you so very much. One last question. And I asked this to everybody. And the reason I asked this to others is because it was a question I asked myself. You've already pretty much answered it for me, but maybe not for them. This is one that's near and dear to me because it speaks a lot. It says a lot for me. And that question is for you, Mr. Warren Fitzgerald Muhammad. What is your why?
I kind of thought you would. I've given this some thought. I really can't say that I have a why, or I just don't know what it is or how to articulate it. I just know that there's something in me that constantly seeks out a challenge to myself as to what can I do, what can I accomplish, how far can I go, how far can I push this machine that I'm inside of.
Yes.
There's something in me that just constantly burns to do more. And it really is basically about service to others. So maybe that's the why. Maybe it's serving others.
Right.
And when I close my eyes shut, I would like for it to be said that I got all that I could get out of this little vehicle that I'm in. So I'm constantly challenging myself. So I played the different sports I played. I studied the different things. As you've heard from my legal career, it wasn't just one thing. When I got pretty good at one thing, I sought something else, another challenge.
Right.
It started with, getting caught upon, then it came with entertainment law, and I think I can do that, accident, injuries. I think I can do that.
Right.
I think I can make a movie about my family. about this community. I think I can write a book about our history here in the West, and whether we should integrate or separate or be, I think that's something that needs to be looked at. So I think I can do it.
Right.
So I'm working on another book right now. I'm in the editing process. It's called See the Wind, Get the Wind.
Mm.
And it's how to visualize what a wind looks like and be able to spot it and then go after and grab it by the throat and get it.
Right.
So I don't know if that answers your question or not, but
hey, that's your why. I said, well, that's my why. No, that is indeed, and I get that so very much, and that speaks volumes. I would say to you from myself is continued success, continue walking in the purpose that you're already walking in. Continue that vision that you already have. Many blessings to you, and I thank you on behalf of Old Country Boy sitting here on the porch. Thank you for allowing me here in the 4-4 once more again. I'm so grateful. Y'all come and find out for yourself. That's the only thing I can say. I don't go one way or another. Again, find out for yourself. That word says, study to show thyself approved. Study your own self. Don't take my word on it, because you might not like what I like. I might not like what you like, but you like what you like, so find out for yourself. Yeah. And as I close, every time I will close the same way. As I sit here with Mr. Muhammad, and I will tell you to do the same thing. Everybody may not see. Everybody may not agree. Everybody may not support your vision. They might not like your purpose. They ain't supposed to. But that don't mean you stop. People may say, you know what, boy, you from the 4-4. Boy, you from back in Louisiana. You can't do that. There'll be folks that say that. Mm-hmm. Folks will say that. They will tell you, oh, you too short, you too tall, you too skinny, you too big, you too little. Folks will say that. But Old Country Boy tells you this, as I sit with this man here who's proven fact. You continue walking in it. You continue walking in it. It's because it's not their vision. It's not their purpose. It's yours. And this is something that I know that I've learned a long time ago. It's my purpose, but it ain't for me. Mm-hmm. It's my vision, but it ain't mine. See, this thing about vision and purpose, there's somebody waiting for me to fulfill mine so they can fulfill theirs. That baton. Mm-hmm. They're waiting for me. How wonderful is that to have somebody to know that you were created to go a certain point. There's somebody out there waiting for exactly what you have. Because they say, like, I'm waiting here because I can't move until you get here. Mm-hmm. That's how special you are. That's how wonderful you are. So don't worry about the people that don't agree. Don't worry about the people that don't support. Don't worry about the people that don't believe. Just continue walking in it. Continue walking in it. And I say this on behalf of myself is this. I support you. I tell you, I support you. I support you. I support the vision. I support the purpose. See, the one thing that I know is that what was given to you, who am I to say, like, oh, he can't do it? That sounds pretty crazy on my behalf because God gave it to you. So I'm supposed to tell him, oh, you didn't give him that. Right. So, not going to do it. Not going to do it. And each and every one of y'all, I support you. Not just in my words. Watch my actions. Right. Watch me. Watch me work. And I'll say this, my last words are always my same last words. And I won't even go into the whole spiel. I'll just give y'all part of it. I will give you the whole thing. When you woke up this morning and you open your eyes, And you cleaned out your ears and you tried to hear, but the words of the country boy just didn't come clear. And if you was out there today, and if you was in Houston, you missed the storm, but you caught the rain, and you was trying to hear, but you kind of wet, so your ears was wet, and the words didn't come clear. Well, here it is. 8:18 Houston time, all the way from the 4-4. I say these words, and I say them from my heart, is that I love you. I love you, and I love you unconditionally. And there ain't nothing, absolutely positively nothing, that you can do about it. Warren.
Thank you, Countryman.
Hey, look, y'all just hang on in. Y'all hang on out, and old country boy will be back. Look, y'all catch on later on. We're going to walk around. I'm going to do some filming of the place, and I'm going to post that later on so y'all get to see what this whole place look like. I might even go in the bathroom. I'm gone. Bye.